Hello, artists. So great to see you again. So the last time we met, we made these awesome transparent 3D shapes. Today, we're going to continue with the 3D shapes, and then I'm going to show you how to make your transparent shapes opaque. So I bet you're wondering, what is opaque? You might even be wondering, what does transparent mean? So let's start with transparent. So transparent means that you can see, this side is much better. Transparent means that you can see through it. All right, so like this bottle of olive oil that I have, it's important that it's transparent, that I can see through it so that I can see how much olive oil I have left. So this bottle is transparent. Also, my little kitty cat piggy bank is transparent, so I can see how much change I have in the bank. So again, transparent means that you can see through it. Opaque is the opposite of transparent. Opaque objects are not see-through. You can't see through them at all. This mug is opaque. You can't see through it. You can see into it, but you can't see through it, so that makes it opaque. My favorite hat is opaque. You can't see through it. You can see the dirt on it, though. I really need to clean this thing. This photo of my siblings and I when we were kids is opaque. You cannot see through it. But there is one part that is transparent. Do you know what that is? That's right. If you said the glass over the picture frame, you would be correct. That's what makes it look so shiny. Look at my long blonde hair. To review, transparent and opaque are opposites, or antonyms. So let's get back to our 3D shapes, shall we? All right, so the last time we left each other, we said that this time we would draw the cylinder, the cone, and the sphere. So let's go ahead and do that now. You will need a pencil, an eraser, and your paper from last time. Let's start with the cylinder. For the cylinder, we're going to start with a skinny oval for the bottom of the cylinder, because we're looking at it from the side. Then we're going to draw lines coming straight up from the sides of that oval. And we're going to draw another oval that is the same as this, same size and same thickness as this oval that fits in between those lines. Don't worry if it's not perfect. It's really hard to get this perfect. We just try our best, right? All right, like so. Let's go ahead and move on to the cone. So the cone is similar to the cylinder. Again, we're going to start with a skinny oval for the bottom, because we know at the bottom of the cone is the circle, right? And when we look at a circle from a side, it looks like an oval. Then we're going to find the center of that oval. And then I just draw my diagonal lines up into the center from both sides. There we go. And then I can erase my guideline there. And there I have my cone. All right, let's keep it moving to the sphere. I didn't want to erase my sphere from last time because I really liked it. So I'm just going to make another one over to the side. All right, so for the sphere, we're going to try and draw our best circle. Okay, so what I like to do is, well, there are a couple different ways you could draw a circle. One of the things that I like to do is I go around with my pencil really lightly, just around and around and around until it starts to look like a circle, and then I just erase anything extra. Okay, or I can just draw a little bit of the circle at a time. Make just these little pencil marks until it looks like a circle, and then if it doesn't, Or if I need to fix an area, I just go ahead and fix that until it looks like a circle. You could also find something that is circular and trace it. To make my circle look like a sphere, I have to add shading. Otherwise, it just looks like a flat shape. And we're making forms, right? All right, so I'm going to add my shadow on the left side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around the side with my pencil. And I'm going to make it dark on the left side. Then I'm going to kind of come up with my pencil a little bit and not press so hard. And I'm going to come around in this C shape. And as I come out, I'm just getting lighter and lighter, and I'm staying in that C shape until my pencil is not really on the paper anymore. All right. Then I'm going to make a line from underneath the sphere out this way, just a light line for now. Okay, and that's where we're going to put the shadow. So I'm going to make it really dark underneath and close to the sphere. I'll make it really dark. And then my shadow gets lighter and lighter as it comes away from the sphere, like so. How do your spheres look? Do they look 3D? So now we're going to go ahead and make our transparent forms into opaque forms. Let's start with our cube. All right, so let's think about it. If we were looking at a cube that was not transparent, that was opaque, we wouldn't really see what's inside of it, right? So here's the front. We wouldn't see anything inside of the front. So I'm going to go ahead and erase everything that is inside of the front box. And if I accidentally erase too much, I just go ahead and add it on back. All right, would I see anything through the top of the box? No, I wouldn't. So I go ahead and erase that. And would I see anything through the side of the cube? I wouldn't see anything through the side. So I'll go ahead and erase anything that is inside of the side. So now our cube has become opaque. All right, the rectangular prism, we can apply the same principles. So let's look at the front. We cannot see through the front, so we erase anything that is inside of the front. We cannot see through the side, so we erase any of the lines through the side. And we cannot see through the top, so let's erase anything that we would see through the top. And then go ahead and add anything that you accidentally erased. For the triangular prism, you wouldn't see inside the front, and you wouldn't see inside the side. For the pyramid, you wouldn't see through either of these sides. Let me show you again. You wouldn't see these lines here. For the cylinder, you wouldn't see the back of this oval. For the cone, you wouldn't see the back of that oval either. For the cylinder, you'd still see a little bit of the top. And for the trapezoidal prism, you wouldn't see inside the front or the side or the top. You'd only see the faces, right? Okay, so now let's go ahead and add some shading and some shadows to make our 3D forms look even more 3D, especially the rounded forms. So let's start with the cone. Just like the sphere, I'm going to go ahead and make one of the sides dark. And I'm just going to do that by shading with my pencil, not pressing hard, I'm just going over it a bunch until it gets dark. Then I'm going to lift my pencil just a little bit, just to make it a little bit lighter. And lighter and lighter until it's white. And if it's not really blending very well, then you can go back and make the side darker and then adjust it as you need to. All right, and then you can make your shadow by coming to the bottom of the cone, making your line out here, and then that should be dark, really close to the cone. And your shadow gets lighter and lighter as it comes away. Oh my goodness, you couldn't see that. Let me try that again. So again, your shadow starts underneath the cone. And where it's close to the cone, it's very dark. But then it gets lighter and lighter as it comes out and away from the cone. The cylinder is the same. So we're going to think of it as the light shining from this way, right? So the light shining on top of it a little bit, right? So we'll leave this white here because the light's shining on top of it. But this is going to be the shaded part, right? Because this is the furthest away from that light. So we're going to make this side dark. And again, we'll come a little bit lighter as we come out from there. So start dark and then blend it from dark to light. All right. And then we're going to come around the bottom with our dark shading and close to the cylinder. It's going to be nice and dark. And then our shadow comes out and it gets lighter and lighter. Dark, lighter, and lighter. Our spheres we've already taken care of. Let's add some shadow to the cube. So let's think about it this way. Let's say that the light is shining from here. Oh, you can't see that. The light's shining from up here. Okay, so if the light's shining from up above, then the top of the cube is going to stay white, right? It's going to be lit by the light. The light is going to touch a little bit of the side here. So it's not going to be dark, dark. It's going to be darker though. It's definitely going to be in the shadow. So we're going to shade this in, but not terribly dark. And then this side of the cube is going to be totally in the shadows, right? So we're going to make that dark. This space is extra dark because it's in the shadows. Okay, like so. So now we can add the shadow of the cube. So I'm going to go ahead and make my cube shadow darkest next to the cube and the shadowy part. And then I will make it, I will blend it out, making my pencil marks lighter and lighter as I come away. And oops, I'm getting into my rectangular prism label. That's okay. All right, there we go. Even bring it over here a little bit. Go ahead and do the same for more of your forms. Think about what face would be totally in the dark, in the shadows. What face would the light be hitting a little bit? And which face would be totally in the light? And then when you're adding your shadows, remember, it's darkest near the form, and it gets lighter as it casts out. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry that the video was so long today, but I hope it was worth it. I hope that you learned so much about creating 3D forms, creating transparent 3D forms, and then making them opaque, and how to add shadows to make your forms really pop out of the page. Have a wonderful week, everyone. I cannot wait to see your opaque 3D shapes.